Alright, well. Let's go ahead and build the starbase here. Oh wow, I flew through a radiation storm and lost a bunch of hit points. That's actually even more tempting to throw the starbase in here, though, because maybe it'll be a little bit more protected. Alright, command you to construct a starbase. Yes, first starbase. Actually, second starbase, because we started with one, but whatever. Okay, I understand. You have to go through your nonsense triggers that don't actually mean anything. And we were going to turn you into, I think, a xenoarchaeology lab. Allows any starbase to study precursor relics and ascension gates. I think, technically, that this would count as a precursor relic, an economic relic. Build a xenoarchaeology module on a nearby starbase. So let's do that. Bam, done. We can even move to an ancient studies center at some point to increase its value. So that's interesting. I'm not 100% sure about what it does, but I guess we're going to find out. It's more fun to find out by doing anyway than looking it up and going through that whole nonsense online or anything like that. This guy, though, seriously, what is this starbase? This is not the starbase of a friend. And this is a starbase of somebody who is trying to get themselves blown up. I really don't understand it. Okay, research relic. Giving colony plus 10% research. That's fine. And we found the edge of the map. That works for me. I'm still just so frustrated. Like this kind of move. Rude. On the other hand, it does encourage us that maybe we just need to respond in kind at some point. And maybe we don't need to feel bad about it. Quake 1. A paradise. Interesting. I still find that weird. Why can I go outside of my range for this? That doesn't make any sense to me. What's the point of... I mean, I kind of understand there still is a point of having range, but not much of one would think. Well, we found a ship graveyard, of course, for where our survey ship actually is, and I think another ship graveyard. Maybe they'll find an artifact 1 year, but apparently it's not going to be this year. Ascension Crystal, Ascension points per turn 1. Owned Ascension Crystals 4. Man, they just start off with way more territory than us, don't they? Gross income for the colony, 10%. Okay. I imagine we'll upgrade that thing later, but I'm not too worried about it for the moment. I'm just going to buy this thing. Just get it done. Get to that colony ship a bit faster. Well, that's the edge of the map again. So let's just keep poking around, I guess. Yeah, get back in your range. Ridiculous. We'll just keep exploring. Okay. We're almost halfway done with interstellar trade, so that's nice, I guess. Man, starting with so much tech and so little things creates a bit of an interesting scenario there still. Not sure what to think about it. Okay, so I'm wondering if that just provides an income bonus to like everything we're doing. Just flat 10% bonus, because that'd be kind of cool if that was the case. And that's sort of what it looks like, but I'm not 100% sure about it, because the tutorial is not particularly in-depth. And even if it did cover it, well, it's a 4x. You're getting a lot of stuff thrown at you at once. Kind of hard to keep it all inside. Yeah, at least our influence is starting to cover this starbase. Maybe we'll eventually gain the influence over this Ascension Crystal, and we can tell him to go away and leave us be. Still got the factory going up, then the farm. Why is it... That's kind of... Okay, no. It already built the farm. Now it's upgrading the Xeno factory automatically. That's fine. And then it would upgrade the farm automatically. We've got decent approval, decent population limit, I suppose, at 6.4. Growth per turn is standard. I don't know the best way to improve these colonies still, so I'm almost tempted just to be like, hey, build me another basic factory. And then another basic factory, just for all the adjacency bonuses. That might just be me having played too much Off-World Trading Company lately, but it still feels like what I want to do. So let's just do it. Okay. Now, are you being sponsored? I think you are. Yeah, Dominion Prime is still sponsoring you. We'll just leave it at Dominion Prime for the time being. I'm going to cancel this constructor, though, and instead go ahead and start a colony ship after this constructor is done. There we are. Oh, good, a wormhole. Oh, we'll worry about that later. There we go. Kind of at that interesting, awkward stage of any kind of campaign in a strategy game where you start with like a whole lot of one type of thing and not a whole lot of another type of thing. And so even though I have a lot of units running around, for example, I don't have many planets to work with. And I'm not having to make decisions very frequently outside of unit movement, purely because all the decisions have been made for me for an extended period of time. What is this? A little Drengen Empire ship? Are we at war with them? Can we just blow it up? Yeah, blow it up. Get it out of here. I'm done with its nonsense. Warrior. Alright, whatever. Equipped to colonize distant planets. No, we have to make sure that thing doesn't get anywhere near here. Like, they're out of range is what's so frustrating right now. But we'll watch them. We'll keep an eye out. Make sure they don't go anywhere. Okay. Found Felicity. Alright. And this stupid survey ship taking my artifacts before I could even get there. So frustrating. Make sure you're set to watch the area. Actually, I think that I need to not hit sentry. I think I need to hit guard. Q. Because that just makes sense, right? Guard being on Q. At least it's easy to reach. So I won't complain too much. Terran Alliance, we see you building up forces outside our doorstep. You should stop. I'm not building up forces outside your doorstep. You moved your doorstep to my doorstep. You've taken some great territory that I would absolutely love. It's not my fault if you decide, hey, this neighborhood looks awesome, I want to move in, and then you blame the neighbors for ruining it. Just calm down. That's all I'm saying. Man, it's like these are the people I have to be friends with? I don't even know if I wanted to bother. Maybe I want to change my mind and blow them all up. I can probably still do that. Man, they're not being nice, though. I guess I should have expected that from people who are like, our prophecies say you're going to blow up the universe, so maybe you should just not go home. Thanks, game. Love it. Oh, guys. Alright, Xeno Factory is still going up. They're just basically doing the upgrading thing, and I'm fairly comfortable with that for the time being. Trying to just get established here. I would love to get more colony ships out, though. I think that's going to be my biggest concern for the moment, is getting Mayanlak and Madziula, wow, those are some interesting names, colonized. Those are going to be my next goals, I think. And hoping that I would have found some areas that I could actually survey in the direction I sent my survey ship. But no. I guess I could try the ship graveyards. They have a little bit of support, but I'm really scared to lose my survey ship. Where did the Drengen go? Just ran right past me. You're the worst guards ever. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Hopefully they don't colonize an actual city anywhere near us. That would suck. Because I'd rather have all this territory that's available near here kind of as our territory. Just a detail. Yeah, keep your movement up. There. Now you're only got the adaptive farm left to build. Oh no, we already queued up a bunch of factories for you. That's fine. How about we do those factory upgrades instead of the farm upgrade first? Because I don't think we get any benefit from the adaptive farm right now. As far as I can tell, all it does is raise the population cap of our world, where we're not to the point, we're still 19 turns away from having to worry about raising the population cap of our world. So I'm not sure I'm worried about it. Also, what's the point? If population is being done in decimals, why don't we just have Why don't we just move that decimal over 1? Feels like it would just be more reasonable that population would grow in units. Even if it is just 1 population a turn and up to 64 population. I don't know. Maybe I'm being nitpicky, but I don't really get that. Why it's a point of a population. Maybe there's a good reason that I just don't see. But somehow I kind of doubt it. Considering you should be able to just move the decimal over 1 and get the exact same effect. At least from a, game mechanic perspective. Alright. Keep poking around. Ooh, this area has become Dringen. I don't think that was Dringen in the first place. These guys are really expanding quite rapidly into the universe around them. Maybe we should have done that with our constructors. I'm very tempted to send one over this way. Like, just toss it out here to grab up this Illyrium. Just to kind of drive other people away and say, no, this is actually my territory. Don't mess with it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to go with. Are they still gathering from this Ascension Crystal? Why are they still able to gather from this? They don't even own this territory. That's really dumb. I do not want to have to blow them up just so I can acquire this thing, because I would kind of like it. Idle ship. Where's my idle ships? Okay. Oh, keep poking around. I guess we can try a ship graveyard. Let's just do it. Let's take the risk. Well, we found more artifacts. That's nice if we can get our survey ship up there. More star bases, more ascension crystals, go figure. And our constructor. Oh, we got our new constructor. Okay, that's nice. Let's get this constructor out here. He can go maybe a little into the nebula. I don't know if he needs to, though. I think we can just set up shop right here. Or maybe go a little bit further in like this. Yeah. And now at this point, construct starbase. Bam. And let's go with a mining ring, because that was the whole point of building this one. So he could collect us Illyrium. That should work out reasonably well, I think. Now we've got an approval relic up here. So that might be where we throw our next starbase. It should also, I think, extend our range out, as long as starbases work that way like planets do, and allow us to maybe get to this Dringen area up here and actually start some combat if we're ready for that. So, you, Mr. Constructor, rather than adding yourself onto any of the existing things, why don't you just come up near this relic? Alright. First Illyrium mine, and second Illyrium mine, interestingly enough. For ideology, how can I see how many points I have, I wonder? Because I should be collecting them. Okay, I have 1 point to spend in ideology. Does that mean I have a whole point I can actually, like, drop on something right now? Or do I need to... Do I need to build up to 20 points? Do I just have 1 point at the moment? Not particularly clear. I imagine we'll figure it out before long. An uncrewed colony ship drifts in deep space. What? Complete with a hold full of frozen colonists. Upon thawing them, you discover that they are refugees from the Dreadlord's war and have been drifting for more than 10 years. They are quite willing to join your empire in gratitude for repairing their ship. I imagine that was from our ship graveyard up here. I will take that. Obviously. I mean, who would deny that? That's fantastic. And maybe we can grab just this world right here. Really kind of extend out the empire. We've got ships floating around in that general region that can hopefully protect it. Since that does seem like a very aggressive place to go off to, but hopefully it'll work out. Alright. Continuing to move in position with the starbase is good. Alright. And keep scouting out our quote-unquote allies' territory. Oh, what is this thing? Ooh, a big, medium-sized missile warfare ship. Can put a lot of missiles into space very quickly. And did that thing have 10 moves? Wow. That moves fast. Alright. Let's see if we can catch it with our main fleet. And you just keep running. Just get out of here. Nowhere for you to be right now. Colony ship, keep moving. It's really nice to find a colony ship, actually. I am in no way going to object to what sounds like probably a fully loaded colony ship. With range 98, sheesh. Confirm battle. No, I'd rather run away. But I guess we can just lose all these units with no chance of getting out of here. Fine. Bye, units. I'll miss you. Alright, well, with any luck, he's still in the area. There he is. We can probably... He's down to 101 hit points. This should be fairly straightforward, one would think. Take that ship down for his impudence, or whatever you want to call it. There. No damage done to our fleet. At least we traded his giant ship for our small ships. What can you do? Now, I kind of want this thing right on the edge of the territory I'm grabbing, so I think I'm fairly comfortable just having it right here. I suppose I could move it in range of the Durantium, just in case I kind of wanted to upgrade that direction. That might be the best idea. Just move a couple more spaces up and to the right, and then found the starbase. See, look at all the territory this starbase has. Why is it still operational? I don't really understand why that's how it works, but whatever. What is this guy? Used to establish trade routes. Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, we can trade. Hopefully that's not an issue. Okay, so Xenofactory is going up. A cultural center is going up. Those both sound fine still, so we'll leave them to it. Site is protected by pirates. Yes, engage. Yes, colonize the planet. And we found a survey ship, so that's nice. And we have pirates to fight. Let's go ahead and quick battle those. It's jumping back and forth between events. I kind of wish... It feels like it keeps queuing up events, but then it realizes it already had another event to do. So, like, it goes to my survey ship, which I had running into a ship graveyard, right? And so it's like, do you want to fight? And I'm like, yes. And then it's like, oh, but I also moved your colony ship at the same time. So why don't you name your colony? I'm like, okay, well, this is the name of my colony. And then it's like, okay, well, now I have another event queued up. Before we get to the colonizing event, how do you want to go about this battle? Do you want to quick battle it or what? And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, gather up the survey ship and quick battle. And then it's like, oh, but we have a colonizing event to cover, so let's jump back to that. Why can't we just resolve one ship at a time? Would that really be that hard? I realize I could have microed this out a little bit better, but that's kind of just annoying more than anything else. All right. The actual colonizing event is water reclamation. A new source of subterranean water has been discovered, which, if accessed, could dramatically help this colony. The water could be used to boost food production or even just people's quality of life. Baths might be possible again, for example. What are your orders? Let's see. Yeah, some water to food production, but make as much of it available to the people as possible to ease the burden of our colony's onerous water restrictions. So yeah, let's go with that. Plus 10 benevolent, plus 5% food production, and plus 20% approval. I see no reason not to. Okay, we can build farms on a floodplain. Okay, a beautiful region that people would be happy to live in. Got some pollen over here. Can be used to refine promotion gas. Promotion gas. Okay. If you say so, game. If you say so. Let's see. If we did a planetary soil upgrade. Okay, we do have the option of this tile. So I'm kind of tempted to build a couple factories just up in this region for the time being. And let's see. Could I upgrade? No, I can't upgrade this tile. But still, I think this is a reasonable call. Going ahead and just building these factories for now. Figure the rest out later. And we have another survey ship, so that's cool. Let's see. You survey ship... Don't need to go touch the wormhole. What was available that was interesting for you to go do? Yeah, head to those artifacts. While you can head in the direction of this ship graveyard. See if you see anything interesting along the way. Alright, that should do it. There's so much blasphemy on your worlds. It may soon be time to bring a proper moral order to your worlds. What have we ever done to you? We have sat here being like, man, I wish we could be at peace and allies so we can deal with the jerks in that corner. And this guy was like, maybe that's a good idea, but here's the thing, you suck. What did I do? I haven't actually done anything yet. Why? Why you gotta act this way, aliens? This is gonna be another repeat of like Civ 5 diplomacy, where no matter what you do, everybody hates you eventually because of some mild slight or indiscretion that apparently you did. Like, man, I didn't want to trade one day 3,000 years ago, so I'm glad we're at war right now, since you finally have an army that can, you know, allow you to strike back in appropriate measure for that. I don't want more of that in this game, so I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. Let's get our starbase built. I'm going for the, I think, Xenoarchaeology lab immediately, because that just sounds more interesting to me than the mining ring. I already have some Durantium, so I'm not too worried about that. You can grab the space junk on your way, I guess. Let's see, have we done all of our moving at this point? I think we have, except for this guy, but he won't find anything interesting, so not a big deal. Hey, we got a research done. We can trade. Excellent. Interstellar trade researched. Now what do we want to do? We can get interstellar banking. We could maybe, I'm almost tempted by food distribution to increase food production. We could also go for an agricultural optimization to make our farms better. That might be all right. I'm still kind of tempted by focused research. I just didn't do it earlier because it was going to take 60 turns, but then everything was going to take a year and a half to get done. So what was the point in waiting? Or in not, you know, making sure I could get better research eventually. Oh good, 31 treasury from the space junk. I love space junk. It's just so useful and interesting. Get up to the artifact, please. Alright. Keep forgetting exactly how many moves that fleet has. It's like the biggest one, and I think of it as my military fleet, whereas my other stuff is supposed to be scouting, and yet my military fleet has way more movement than my scouting units did. And I'm just kind of like, okay. Whatever works, I guess, for you. Are we building that colony ship still? Still 10 more turns till it's done. Sheesh. I didn't realize it was that far out. How are we doing on ideology? We have 12 points to spend. We need 20. Well, we'll get there one year. Keep poking around. Now, unfortunately, an interesting thing that happens is I get rather wrapped up in my 4Xs, like most people do, I imagine, and they suck away most of my day. So I've completely failed at doing what I intended to and keeping this episode a bit shorter. So I imagine in just a minute here when I end it, this will actually be the end of part 2 of this episode, because I really would like to kind of start breaking it up in those 20 to 30 minute chunks rather than the 40-minute beasts they've been so far. Personally, I just think that's a little bit better of a size to aim for to keep a lot more people happy. I know some people really would love to just be able to like turn on a video and let it run for 3 hours. I've met those people. That's fine. On the other hand, if that's what you really want, then go and turn on a Twitch VOD. You know what I mean? And so, I think right after we finish up this turn, we've got some research done. We've got some planets established. We can kind of get an idea of what our basic goal is, right? Expand out to this planet and this planet. Once we have all 5 of those set up, we can really start trying to plug away at the Drengen Empire right here, as it looks like there might be a planet here to take from them. And we can go ahead and make sure of that with some of our longer ranged units in the future. We have the basic plan set up. We have a good idea of what we're going to do with the scenario. This guy will not stop throwing up starbases in our way, so we'll need to deal with that before too long. But overall, I think now that we're finished with the basic initial stages of setup, I think it's time to go ahead and call it quits for this one. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.